Hey YouTube, this is Repscallion, and today I just wanted to kill my channel by, being positive for once. Um, all of my videos are kind of based on my misery and, how depressing my life is, but I've been doing really good lately and I've been pretty happy, so I know that isn't very interesting or relatable, so I guess I'm sorry about that, but it is what it is. It's my channel and I can talk about whatever I want. So, well, another thing, I know I said no more slop tent until until I got a job, but let's just say that recent events in my life have compelled me to make this video. And what I want to talk about today is how I've recently found myself in a relationship and how that's been going. That's right. You heard me correctly. I am in a real relationship with a girl who actually likes me. Yes, I know it's all very shocking, and it's certainly not something I had anticipated happening, but yeah, I couldn't be happier. And some of you, a few of you, will already know this. You'll already know that I've begun dating Ashros123, who is a fellow YouTuber, content creator, if you want to use that term, who makes similar videos to what I make. And, you should definitely go and subscribe to her, like, comment, show her some love. Not too much love, mind you, because, she is all mine. And, so yeah, we've entered into a relationship recently, and it is all online, which I know some people don't really consider online relationships to be like authentic or real, which I can kind of understand to a degree. Like, yeah, sure, without that physical interaction, there's going to be something lacking. I can understand that, but through the internet, we're able to talk every day for hours at a time, and I really feel like I can understand her, who she is as a person, and I feel like she understands me too. And I think that mutual understanding is, well, it's only going to continue to grow the more time we spend together. And, I certainly consider online friendships to be real, so I don't know why it would be any different for an online relationship. I mean, we like watch movies together and stuff, and we just do normal couple shit, minus the physical component. And so, yeah, I wouldn't really say that our relationship is limited by the distance between us. I mean, of course, I would love to go see her in person and, do all the stuff that couples usually do in person. And I really do intend on going to see her eventually. Um, I mean, I think if you're in an online relationship, it's kind of pointless unless you do intend on going to see, your partner um, somewhere down the line. And yeah, so I'm really excited to get a job, which is shocking to me because I've always hated the idea. I really did want to be a NEET forever, or at least as long as I could be. But that's just something I didn't really expect about getting into a relationship. Just the tremendous amount of motivation it gives you to do better, improve, dare I say. I just feel so motivated to be, a Zog controlled wage cook slave, so I can make money and treat her to stuff and, buy her all sorts of gifts. And I know that makes me sound like some kind of oofy doofy simp lord, but I don't really care. It's just something that kind of happens when you get into a relationship, you know? Like, I just have this overwhelming urge to provide, which sounds so cringe when I say it, but it's so true. And I really think that it's normal, you know, it's just something that can't really be explained properly. You know, it's something you kind of have to experience, which I hate to say because I know some people are going to see that as like gynocentric, but I just call it love, you know? I mean, I think it's very natural for me as a man to want to provide and comfort and support a woman. I think that's just normal, really. And yeah, so another thing I should probably mention, um, I should probably address, which is probably going to get me some hate, but I don't really care. I just want to mention that she is trans. You know, she is a trans girl, which is part of the reason why I wasn't exactly the biggest fan of her. Let's say when she first arrived on the scene. If you know, you know. If you were there for the Great Schism. Sorry about that. My dog was barking, and he's still barking. So you're just gonna have to deal with it, I suppose. Um, what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, right. If you were there for the Great Civil War in a certain channel, you would know that I was possibly the biggest detractor. You know, I was leading the side of the chuds, and I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I am a chud. You know, I'm a chud inky, and I'm just really glad that things turned out the way they did, because I am so deeply, so passionately in love, and I really couldn't be happier. You know, I've never been happier. And I know that some people are going to say like, "Oh, well, actually, she isn't a real girl," which, you know, is probably something I would have said in the past myself. But she's made me more open-minded, you know, I guess. She's kind of opened my eyes, and now I'm very much of the opinion that, you know, if it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, you know, then maybe it's just a fucking duck, you know? And, you know, I see her as a girl. She acts like a girl, she looks like a girl, she talks like a girl. So she might as well just be a girl. And at the end of the day, my opinion is the only one that really matters. And I see her as a girl, so she's a girl. So, yeah, you know, fuck you, straw man. I made up in my head. She, she's just so perfect for me, you know? Like, it feels like we complement each other perfectly. So, so smoothly do we come together and just connect to one another so effortlessly. And, you know, I'd really stopped believing in true love and all that shit like a long time ago. But she has kind of reignited the belief I once had, and I just really feel like she's my soulmate, you know? And I know that sounds very dramatic, but it's just how I feel. And I am so in love, which isn't something I ever thought I would have the privilege of experiencing, you know, love. And I've just never met anyone before who's actually genuinely appreciated who I am, but she does. And I just hope that we're going to be together forever. And, you know, quite honestly, I really do feel like we will be. And I'm not sure what else to say, I'm very happy. I'm in my lane, focused, moisturized, all that shit. And I'm just very eager to start working, start working out, exercising, just being a better person all around. And it's all thanks to her. And I'm just so unbelievably grateful and happy. And I can't wait to go fly out to England and see her. It's really all I can think about lately. I dream about it, which sounds a bit, you know, obsessive and possibly clingy, but I don't care. I'm a chud in love. What can I say? Um, but yeah, I'm just really looking forward to getting this job and working so I can, I guess, feel like a man, providing for my little chudette. And yeah, life has been pretty good lately. And, I know that this video is probably going to get a lot of hate and people are going to not really like it. And I'm probably going to lose a lot of subs, but I don't care. You know, I'm sorry that I'm not miserable anymore. And I'm sorry if that's not relatable, me being happy and in love. But it's my channel and I'm going to upload whatever I want. So, yeah. I think that's about it. I think I've talked about everything I could talk about. Um, my next video is probably going to be when I get my job. I'm going to wait like a week or two and discuss how that's going. I'm kind of nervous, but more than that, I'm excited and motivated, like I said. Um, so yeah, I think that's about it. Until next time, this has been Rapscallion. See ya.